Another great episode of Smackdown tonight with Charlotte and Bianca Belair defending the women's tag team champs. Jey Uso took on Grayson Waller in the main event, while Rey Mysterio was unfortunately injured on Smackdown. So yeah, a lot happening, and let's get things straight off. And we started things off as we usually do on Smackdown these days with Jey Uso, and he was interrupted pretty much immediately by Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Sonia Escobar. Roman said it was a tribal chief's duty to open the show, and that Jey was relevant only because of him. Roman asked Jey if he wanted to be the tribal chief, and Jey said he wanted more of that. All he wanted was to support the family. Jey said Roman broke the family, and now the Uso must do what he has. Roman called him selfish and told him that after he defeats Jey, even if he disappears into obscurity, Reigns would still be the tribal chief, and he'd still be Roman Reigns. Jey reminded Roman that he was the only one to pin him, and at SummerSlam he could do it again. So yeah, back and forth, but really deep words, obviously with the history of these two men, and yeah, it is all going to lead up to some massive match at SummerSlam. I can feel it now, and yeah, a really good line to finish on. Grayson Waller was backstage and asked Jey Uso to be on his show, but got snapped instead, which is pretty accurate to describe where Grayson Waller is at the moment, and yeah, obviously it sets up a really good main event as well. The first match on the card was Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. Rey was in control early and sent Escobar outside after dodging a 619. Santos took some big moves but returned with a big spinning backbreaker in the ring for a near fall. Rey then got a big runner on the apron before Kane hit with a dive to the outside. We then came back from a break to see that Rey may have taken a bad fall after the dive from Santos, and the match unfortunately had to be called off. Santos was not happy and was checking on Rey, so fingers crossed it is more storyline, but unfortunately it does seem like it may be legit, and it's such a shame because obviously with how all these two have been aligned recently, it could have developed into a really good match. Not that it wasn't up to that point, alright anyway, but yeah, I just hope Rey's alright. But anyway, Bianca was backstage with Sonia's villain. Chelsea Green points out that Belair and Charlotte were always in the limelight regardless. They would chance while the women's tag champs didn't even get a celebration. Charlotte showed up and challenged them to a tag match, but Lass was not happy about having to team with Flair, so still dissension there, but obviously this is all about setting up the match later on. But it signs to LA Knight versus Shante the Adonis. Adonis started strong, got some strikes in off the bat before LA came with a neck breaker. Top the dollar interfered from the apron, letting Adonis get near full. Knight returned with an elbow drop before getting the bump force stronger for the win. And Jet gets 6 out of 10 from me. I don't know, this was just a simple match really. Poor old Hit Row getting dropped out again. Seriously, Shante, because I really like him. I think he's a solid performer. But yeah, LA Knight, I don't know, kind of feels like he's not doing much at the moment. And Jet probably needs to win the Battle Royal at SummerSlam before Jey Uso found out about Adam Pearce backstage, and then he would face Grayson Waller in the main event before Bobby was backstage with the Street Profits, and Lashley told them to dress like stars. They wanted to be stars, having brought some suits out. So yeah, part of this interesting stable. To be honest, I'm not against it. I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes, and yeah, we'll have to see. It's then time for the mixed tag between Charlotte and Bianca versus Chelsea and Sonia. Charlotte and Green kicked off the match, and Champ was in control early on before Belair was tagged in. Green stomped on Belair's toe to gain the advantage and break free and made the tag. Sonia then got a near fall off a big break before we headed for a break. Back on SmackDown, Charlotte was in control and took a big boot from Deville before Belair forced the tag and came with some moves. Deville then grabbed her by the hair and got a spine buster as Chelsea got a sneaky tag. Belair then countered the finisher from Green while Charlotte was tossed Deville outside. As Belair was about to get the KOD on Green, Flair came in with a big boot and took Green for the win. And yeah, this gets a 5 out of 10 for me, unfortunately. I don't know, it's just the fact that we saw the women's tag team champions defeated by the classic saying, the odd couple. I just don't really think we should be doing that really at this point. And yeah, also there shouldn't there be more dissension as well, and it's all going to lead to an interesting angle next week for sure. So yeah, I definitely am intrigued to see where that all goes, I can't lie. Bayley then found a threatening note from Shotzi in the locker room before Asuka showed up to tell Io that she would not be able to cash in on her at SummerSlam. Fair enough. Io then said that no matter who walks away at SummerSlam, she will walk away as champion. Yeah, lots of interesting stuff going on in the women's division. Adam Pearce was setting up a battle royal at SummerSlam when LA Knight and Sheamus came in to demand a spot in the match. Pearce said they could get in a match to decide who would get in. Just put both of them out. They're both going to probably be the best in that. Before it's time for Karrion Kross v Carl Anderson. Anderson took Kross into the corner and got some strikes early before Karrion took control of Stretching from Scarlett and hit a big suplex, hitting the spinning DDT for an easy win. And Jey, after the match, Karrion locks in a cross check on Anderson, and AJ Styles ran out to make the save. And Jey, this gets a 4 out of 10 from me, to be honest. That's being kind. I mean, yeah, this Karrion AJ feud is never ending, and to be honest, I genuinely forgot the OC signs to WWE, which is kind of how irrelevant they've been recently. So yeah, not great stuff. Jey Uso then took on Grayson Waller on SmackDown. Jey was in control early, but Grayson came back with some knee strikes and took Uso down. Rollins entered as the match went on, and Stretch allowed Waller to take Jey down with a big kick. Back after the break on SmackDown, Waller tried for the elbow drop, but missed before Jey also got onto the rolling stunner. Jey then got back in control with a super kick and hit a spear on Waller and a frog splash for the win. Solo attacked Jey after the match, but Uso countered and hit the spike and hit a super kick. Roman then rushed the ring, but took a spear before Jey headed up top, but Solo brought him down. Solo hit a Urinogi before he and Roman hit a spear strike combo, and yeah, they stood over Jey as Roman trash talked for a bit and yelled, "You got pinned." Roman got mad before hitting the spear again as SmackDown went off the air, kind of asserting Roman's dominance again at the head of the bloodline. And yeah, it's all going to tie into maybe a big underdog attack from Jey Uso before he gets the title stolen from him. And yeah, we're 25 minutes for this segment. You kind of knew the match before, maybe wasn't going to go too long. And yeah, we get lots of stuff afterwards, and that's exactly what happened. And yeah, probably transpired in the right way as well. So yeah, this is a really great finish, I have to say. Overall, SmackDown this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought this week's SmackDown was a pretty decent show, I have to say, especially the main event, the Bloodline stuff, as ever. But yeah, I mean, throughout the show, there were some weird bits, maybe that didn't quite make total sense to me. But you know, still a few weeks away from SummerSlam, I think it's a decent enough build-up show. So yeah, 6 out of 10 from me. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe for this, subscribe for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel. It's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.